Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Fair warning, this is going to be long. So today I have decided that I'm going to be incorporating more tutorials on my channel. Woo! Can I get a here? Can I get a hey? Oh. Sorry. So I decided to show you every single eyeshadow palette that I own. That's why I say it's going to be a long video. I have a large collection. I am a makeup lover. So, I'm not going to show you like my singles, my quads, my trios, anything like that. It's just going to be my straight up palette. So if it has 6 shades or more, it's going to be in this video. So, let's just hop right in. Where do I start? Why don't I start with this stuff over here and then I'll work my way over. I think that sounds like a good idea. So the first palette I have to show you is the Tartelette palette. This was the first Tartelette palette that Tarte released. Now they have the Tartelette in Bloom and the Tartelette Toasted. Hey you guys. Yes, I film with my phone. I don't have a fancy camera or anything. Anyway, I'm just going to hold it upside down. Most of these palettes I'm probably going to hold upside down, just a fair warning. But so this is a really cool toned palette and it's all matte. So you got like the purples and the fun like cool tone neutrals that can go in the crease and everything. So this was also, they had different YouTubers collaborate on the names. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to blind you guys, but they have mirrored packaging, so it's kind of hard. Like, anyway, so if I remember correctly, like, Best Friend was they used the 11th Gorgeous Girls for Best Friend. I believe, Force of Nature was Graveyard Girl. And I want to say Supermom was, It's Judy Time, or Melissa Michelle, one of the two. But so when they first released this, they had YouTubers kind of be the models for each color. So there's that. This is the Tartelette in Bloom. I really like the Tarte shadows. They're really nice, soft, and easy to blend. This is mostly matte, but it does have 3 shimmers in there. So this is still kind of cool tone, but you get more warm tone options in it. So you still get like the purples, but then you get some more like warmish colors, I think. No, it's actually still pretty cool toned, which I'm okay with. But this one you do have the option of 3 shimmers, which is Funny Girl, Firecracker, and Rocker. So I really love the packaging of this one too. So there's that. I have the OG Urban Decay Naked palette. This was a favorite back at the end of 2016. That was really when I started using this. If you want to see tutorials using this, I can certainly do that. I know there's naked palette tutorials everywhere nowadays, but they're all like older, I feel. Like they're all older videos, which I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still watch them. Do I? Oh my god, I'm already making a mess of myself. If I have eyeshadow everywhere by the end of this video, I apologize. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still watch the older naked palette tutorials, but I think it'd be nice to have some fresh ideas. I've mostly played with the first 6 shades, so I haven't really touched the last 6 shades, so I might actually end up doing a tutorial with the last 6 shades. My favorite shades in here are Sin and Half Baked, not gonna lie. Let's see, I also have the Naked 2 palette. This is much more cool toned of a palette than any other palette that I own. This has a lot of silvers, a lot of grays, and it's just a really nice cool tone color. Half Baked is also in this palette, and the other shade I really like in here is YDK. I have played with some of the darker shades in this one because I used it to make like a really nice taupe look. I really liked that. I also have the Naked 3. This was actually my very, very first high-end palette, which is why it is the most used out of all of them. I actually recently tried using this to do like a taupey look, kind of like what I did with the Naked 2. I didn't really like it though. But these are really beautiful rosy colors. This Blackheart color has kind of like a pinkish shift to it, so this would be really nice for Valentine's Day and just kind of date night appropriate look. So if you really want to, if you want a tutorial with that, I can do that. All of these palettes you can ask for a tutorial. I won't care. So next I have the Urban Decay Naked Smokey palette. Now this is their most reflective palette. This has actually been discontinued because it was not a popular palette. As you can see, it has a lot of smokier colors, which I find that not a lot of people really enjoy. But if you do want to see a tutorial with this, I could see what I could do without trying to copy other people. Because I know Kathleenlights has a tutorial up on this that's beautiful, and so does Tati. But I would definitely try to work some magic with this. I actually really like the shades Armor and Slanted in this palette, so I think I would try to incorporate those if you wanted a tutorial on this. I also have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, which is their newest Naked palette, minus the Petite Heat that just recently came out. I don't think I'm gonna get that, to be honest. But we'll see. I am an eyeshadow junkie. This is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. It has some more purpley reddish tones. Not so much like the orangey, which is what the Petite Heat does have. But I really like the shade Lumbre or Lumbra, I don't really know, in this palette. But I think if I was going to do a tutorial for you guys, I would try to use like Ashes and Fuego. I think that would be really pretty. So let me know. I know this is the newest palette, so there's a ton of tutorials on it. So if you don't want it, you don't want it. I'm perfectly okay with that. Keeping on with the Urban Decay train, I have the Urban Decay Ultimate Naked the Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I don't use this a lot for like straight up all matte looks or anything like that. I use this more as a like palette to work with other palettes. So like I love using this with my Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette, because while I love the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette, there isn't a lot of neutrals in that palette to play with, to match with. So that's when I would pull something like this. But it is an absolute beautiful palette. I could also use this with a lot of my singles. So if you do want to see a tutorial with this, it's not impossible. I do really love this top row of cool tones. I'm holding it upside down. So I really love this top row of cool tones right here. I haven't really played that much with the warm tones in this palette. I've just been really loving cool tone shadows lately. But just let me know and I will do a tutorial for you. Alright, next we're going to go into my Lorac palettes. So I have the Lorac Pro, the original, and this is just what it looks like. Each of their Lorac Pro palettes that are of this size have a row of matte and a row of shimmer, which I think was so smart on Lorac's part. I really like the shade Champagne, and I think this deep purple color is super pretty. I'm kind of looking at this and feeling inspired, so this might be the first palette I use for a tutorial. But these shadows are super soft. So if you do end up buying this palette, just keep that in mind. They are super soft shadows. You will get a good amount of fallout with these. So I actually really need to learn how to do my eyes first and then my face for shadows like these, or even the Subculture palette. Because they just kind of make a mess, and even with shadow shields it just gets everywhere. So, but this is just really nice and basic and neutral. I love it. The next Lorac palette I have is the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and again it has the row of mattes and the row of shimmers. This has a bunch of cool colors. Like it has the navy color, it has the jade color, that nectar's kind of calling to me. It has the charcoal and the black. I've used this rose color before. It was super pretty. Again, with the soft shadows, like let me Oh god, I said I wasn't going to swatch and now I'm swatching. Look at that navy color. That is so beautiful. Now we need to find my makeup wipes before I get shadow all over me. Like legit though. There they are. Okay. I'm like, where to go? You get back in there. I don't want to. Alright. But yeah, so super, super soft shadows. I do think that it's really pretty though, and I'm kind of excited. I'm honestly so inspired lately with different types of tutorials that you guys, if you really do want these tutorials, you're probably going to get some neutral looks and some more out there looks. Not going to lie to you. Another Lorac Pro palette I have is the Lorac Pro 3. This is probably the one I'm the least inspired by out of the three, but it does still have some really pretty colors. This medallion color is kind of, I think it would work if you use like, because like when you blend it out, it's really pretty, but I do think you would need like a glitter glue and like a setting spray to like make it work. But like there's also this amethyst color that's super pretty, and let's see, it's just a super pretty palette that you can do like really basic looks. It kind of reminds me of the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, to be honest with you, because I feel like you would get really soft looks with this. I do have one more Lorac palette. Oh shoot, I totally didn't mention 2 Urban Decay palettes. What the hell am I doing? I'll talk about those in just a second. The next Lorac palette I have is the Lorac Pro Matte. So this is a lot smaller in comparison. This is the problem with my setup. So it's a lot smaller in comparison. It's like half of the palette. And these are all mattes. I really love this latte shade. I really love pink mauve. I love burgundy. I love bear. I've used linen a couple times. I've used corduroy. I've used chocolate. I haven't really touched the jet black though, not gonna lie. But this is just a really nice basic palette that you can do a basic everyday smoky eye with. So I really, really, really love this. And again, with the super soft shades. This is latte. We'll do burgundy. Like, I really barely need to touch it to get it to be really pigmented. Like, guys, if you're just starting off and you want really easy, if you want really pigmented shadows to start off with, I highly recommend this palette. It was one of my first palettes, and I love it. So the 2 Urban Decay ones I did not talk about because I'm an idiot are the Urban Decay Naked Basics 1 and 2. So this is what the first one looks like. Really nice, cool tone shades. I really love this Naked 2 color for in my crease. Really, really, really pretty. And then there's the Naked 2 Basics, which is a lot more cool toned. But I also find that these 3 colors kind of go hand in hand with each other. But I'd be more than willing to do a tutorial on these with you guys. Alright, let's keep going. Let's get into all the Morphe palettes now. I have quite a few. They're all kind of everywhere, but I'm trying to stick with like brands. So, the first one you guys know about is Discontinued, but you guys, this palette is amazing. It is the Morphe Dare to Create palette. It is just absolutely stunning. Like, look at all of these colorful shades. I've done a look using just this red color. I've done a look using these greens over here. I've done just a basic look using these big basic shades. Let me swatch. So I'll swatch that red, I'll swatch one of the greens, I'll swatch one of the blues, I'll swatch that like neutrally color. And I kind of want to swatch one of the mattes. So let's see. We'll swatch that color. Like, it's so beautiful. I've used this color and this color in eyeshadow looks already. I think it's just beautiful. I'm going to be stained by the end of this. I can guarantee you. So, love this palette. Ooh, almost dropped all of my palettes. So, loved this palette. This palette. We do multiple tutorials for you on that palette. Guys, I'm not even halfway through and we're already at 15 minutes. Another discontinued one I have by Morphe is the Morphe and Kathleenlights palette. This, they had to sell twice because the first time it went bye-bye in like 3 minutes flat. Kathleen is just amazing. Oh. Sorry, I just had the best reaction to that green. I always try to swatch one of the mattes for you. Morphe mattes aren't 100% all that great. They're not like some of the the mattes in their Jaclyn Hill palette has the best mattes. Every other palette is kind of hit or miss, but their shimmers are gorgeous. Look at this green. I will totally do a tutorial with that green. But yeah, I'm just kind of doing this video so you can see what palettes I have, and if you want to ask for a tutorial with a certain palette, you can. I also have the 350 palette. This is the Nature Glow 350. I feel like everybody and their mother has this palette, and everyone and their mother has done a tutorial on this palette. So if you don't want a tutorial on this palette, I completely understand. But basically, you take away these two rows, and it's a bunch of neutral shades, and then you add the pops of orange. Super pretty palette. I love the fact that it has quite a few different shades to set your shadow with, your eyeshadow primer with. I love that it comes with a bunch of different neutral shades up there. I think it's just a great palette. I'm trying to put them away as I go, so I'm sorry. Another Morphe palette I have is the Fall Into Frost 35F palette. This has one row of mattes and then a bunch of shimmers, which I think was kind of smart on their part because, like I said, their shimmers are their strongest. Part of their shadow collection. This has a lot of purpley shades, and I think it's because the Fall Into Frost. I think it's supposed to be more like a fall, but I really like those purpley shades. I am a poor purple girl because I have green eyes, and it just really brings out the green eyes. I'm going to need another one. But yeah, so I'm really excited to use that one for you guys, not going to lie. And then let me grab another one of the wipes real quick before I forget. And then I also have the beloved Jaclyn Hill palette. Let me tell you, these colors down here call to me so badly. So I'm going to swatch these ones for you. I feel like nobody swatches these more exciting colors. I feel like everyone swatches like the neutrally boring colors, and it's not that they aren't good colors, it's just I feel like everyone in the beauty community is getting bored of them because everyone does it. Everyone puts out the neutral palettes and everyone does the neutral tutorials. And we're all just kind of craving color right now. Like, I'm in this group on Facebook called What's Up in Makeup. It is run by Jen Loves Reviews here on YouTube. And I was just talking to one of the girls about this the other day. Look at those shades. Because she posted a makeup of the day and was like, sorry, it's not like an everyday look, guys, but I'm kind of getting bored with them. And I commented the same thing, and I'm like, I feel like we're all just kind of getting bored with them because everyone's putting out the same kind of palette. Everyone's using the same kind of colors. That's my rant. So this is the 25A palette. This is the Copper Spice palette. Look how like monochromatic this kind of looks. You see what I'm saying? Like, but it is a pretty palette. I'm gonna swatch some of their shimmers and a couple of their mattes. The 25 palettes is the same formula as the Jaclyn palette, by the way. So pretty. And I'm not saying that the shades aren't pretty, I just think that we're all just a little bored with them. And then this one is the 25B Bronze Mocha. This is the last Morphe palette, I promise. This one's kind of like the darker alternative. And some of these are kind of showing up patchy a little bit, but that's not the shadow's fault. I'm not letting my hand fully dry from the makeup remover. So, all right, let's keep chugging. I'm gonna try not to swatch as much because I feel like that's taking up a lot of time. So as you guys know, I have all 4 of the new Wet n Wild palettes. I have the Comfort Zone, which is what I use today. I have the Nude Awakening palette, which, fun fact, they already had before. So, can't wait for that giant Wet n Wild eyeshadow video to go out with all the comparisons and everything. But yep, I also got Not a Basic Peach and Rosé in the Air, which Rosé in the Air is supposed to be a dupe for the Modern Renaissance. We'll have to wait and see. So I got all of those. I have 2 Koki palettes. This one is in Indigo Night. So really pretty blues and smoky colors. And then this one is in Smolder, which again, really nice smoky colors. Have not used these yet. But I've been really wanting to try out Koki. So when I saw that these were on sale at my Walmart, that's when I decided to pick them up. Alright, let's go into my Too Faced palettes. So the first one I have is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. Very standard palette, very YouTube, like old school YouTube palette, but still willing to do all of the tutorials on it. I also have the Semi-Sweet, which is a little bit more, like, so the Chocolate Bar was the neutral version. This is the more warm tone version. And then I also have the Chocolate Bonbons, which is the more cool tone version with the pops of color. I really like the Too Faced chocolate bar formulas. I think some of their other eyeshadows kind of missed the mark, but I really like their like chocolate bar sweet peach formula. Which reminds me, I have the sweet peach palette as well. I love the smell of the sweet peach. I also have 2 more Too Faced. I have the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly. That shade Jelly though, it's calling. Can you say that this is not calling? Like, I said I was going to try not to swatch, but I need to swatch it. Okay, that's kind of pretty, but not as like, ba-bam, as I was hoping it was going to be. But a little setting spray will fix that. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I also have the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. I've used this once since I've gotten it, and I did more of a grungy look with it, using like Peach Sangria and Just Ripe and Peach Tart. I actually prefer the smell of this one compared to the Sweet Peach, because the Sweet Peach can be a little strong. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. It can be a little strong. So that's all my Too Faced palettes. I have 2 from Anastasia. I have the ever so loved Modern Renaissance palette. Again, if you don't want to see anything with this palette, because so many people have them out, perfectly fine. But if you want to see how I would use it, then I will totally do that. This Venetian Red and Love Letter, Please tell me how those are different shades. Like, I see it a little tiny bit, but I feel like at the same time they could have nixed one of those, you know? But the one that I really love is the Subculture palette. Look at these shades. They're so different. They're so colorful. I've used Electric on my eye before. I've used Untamed. I've used Axis. I used Destiny. I've used Edge. I've used Dawn. This Adorn shade looks so pretty. Like, what? Like, a lot of people gave crap for this palette, but I think they just don't know how to use it. I use all my palettes the same, where I kind of just dip my brush, tap it off, and do it, and I think that's why this palette works so well for me, whereas other people are like, dig, 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 you know? And I think that's why a lot of people did not like that palette, but let me tell you, the formula is beautiful. It is really comparable to the Modern Renaissance. That's my personal opinion. So, I have 2 palettes from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I don't care what your opinion is on Jeffree Star. I really don't. I like his cosmetic lines. I like his music. I'm going to support him. I've done shit in my past that I'm not proud of. He's done shit in his past that he's not proud of. Plain and simple. End of discussion. Any shit comments down in the comments will get deleted. And if you continue to do it, your ass is going to get blocked. I'm not playing this game. Anyway, so this is the Beauty Killer palette. This was in my February favorites. I've used literally every single shade in this palette. Every single shade. Star Power is beautiful. It's a beautiful bright pink. Expensive, this blue shade. Super pretty. Rich Bitch. Oh my god. I just love the colors in this, and the way he set this palette up. I'm not positive if he did it with the androgyny as well. I'm gonna have to take a look. But he made it so, like, watch. There's a quad. There's a quad. There's a quad. There's a quad. Isn't that smart? Like, hey. J-Star. I love this palette. But from him, I also have the androgyny palette. I want to get the blood sugar palette so bad. But I don't got money right now. Thank God he made it permanent. Anyway, this is beautiful as well. But I don't even think I've used this yet, to be honest with you. I think I've played around with it, but not like done like an actual look with it. But Swallow's beautiful, Poison is beautiful, Military. We all know I love a good military green, guys. And I want to say he did the same thing, because that would be like a nice quad, and I feel like that would be a kind of cool quad. Like, I think he kind of did the same thing. So, and I kind of really like the packaging on that, not gonna lie. I know I'm really close. Like I said, I'm trying to put things away if I can. So I have 3 palettes from L'Oreal. I have La Palette 1, 2, and Noir. I feel like these were a very popular drugstore palette at one point in time. And now I feel like I hear nobody talk about them. This is a really pretty cool tone, like purpley one. I think out of all of them, Noir is probably not my favorite. I feel like they were trying to go for the Naked Smokey vibes and just kind of hit the mark on it. But if you still want to see a tutorial, I'll do it. I have 2 palettes from BH Cosmetics. The first one is the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition. They discontinued her original one when they came out with this one, because this one has all of the original shades in it, but they've just added some more. So if you want to see a tutorial with this, I think it's absolutely beautiful. This shade does look weird right now because it came broken and I had to repress it, but it still works like a charm. So I also have the BH Cosmetics Shaaanxo eyeshadow palette. I do want to buy her remix palette though. So if you do ask for a tutorial on this, it might be a little bit because I want to get the remix palette, because her original palette has 9 eyeshadows and 9 lipsticks. I will never use these lipsticks. Ever. I just don't like a potted lipstick. It's not my thing. But I see where she was going on this. Like, this would be a really nice travel-friendly palette because of that. You got all your neutral shades, and then you have 9 different lipsticks you could use. And you could probably even use these as cream blushes as well. But the Remix palette has all 9 of the original shades and 9 new eyeshadow shades. So I really want to pick that up. So if you do ask for a tutorial with this, it might be a little bit. But if you do ask for a tutorial with this, I will keep in mind that you guys are basing it off of these 9 colors and not the 9 new colors. So if I do get it, I would do one with these shades and then one with those shades and then maybe even one with combined shades. I don't know. But those are my 2 BH palettes. BH Cosmetics is actually really good with their eyeshadows, in my personal opinion. I do have the Hard Candy Look Pro Matte Eyeshadow Pro Palette. I think that's really basic and neutral. I could create a nice matte look with this. I can also use my singles with this. So there's that. I have one Ulta beauty one, and this is the Melissa Michelle palette. I believe it's been discontinued, but even though I don't like using discontinued products on my channel, I do understand. Like, I was on the What's Up in Makeup group on Facebook the other day, and someone was actually complaining that nobody uses these limited edition products anymore because there are people that bought these products and they still want to see people using them, and I totally get that. So if you still want to see a tutorial with this, I'm more than willing. I've used this Teresita shade up here. So pretty. I think Melissa Michelle and Ulta did really good with this. This Alana shade calls to me too. The lipstick in here that comes with it is kind of sticky, but oh, that Alana shade. That's Teresita and Alana. So pretty. But you can easily fix that with a gloss, or even if you can stand the stickiness, I would probably just fix it with a gloss, personally. But I think I could handle the stickiness, maybe. I also have the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. I have a lot of just plain matte palettes. I do have a bunch of singles. I do have all shimmer palettes that's coming, I promise. So I can mix and match these. We're not even close to done, guys. I still have a ton in front of me. So I have the Rimmel London Magnifeyes shadows. This one is in London Nudes Calling. It is just kind of like the Naked 3 dupe, I want to say. But the downfall, there's only one matte shade, and it's so light that I could probably set my eyes with this. So that's when I would pull something like the Kat Von D one in. I have technically 2 of the Wet n Wild All Natural palettes because I do have Nude Awakening, but they repackaged Nude Awakening, so I will be getting rid of this. So I do have the Nude Awakening that I mentioned before, but I did decide to keep the Bare Necessities one because they did not repackage that one. And this is kind of like the Naked palette dupe, so to speak, but super, super pretty. And I know some people like drugstore compared to high-end, so if you want that, you can have that. I have the NYX Ultimate Multi-Finish Shadow Palette. This I'm kind of confused about because they have the mattes, then they have like a satin shimmer, and then they have straight up glitter. So I'm kind of confused about this palette, like how it's supposed to work. Like, I understand they're doing it like so you can create a monochromatic look, but I feel like, again, they kind of just missed the mark on it But at the same time, I see a bunch of YouTubers talking about these and loving them. So maybe I'm just not understanding it. But I do have that if you want a tutorial on that. I have another hard candy. I forgot about that. This is the Naturalize. This is supposedly a dupe for the Too Faced Naturalize palette. Probably won't be anymore since they're repackaging it. They're probably changing the colors too. But so if you want to see a tutorial with this, I think that would be kind of fun. Oh my god. Another limited edition one I had was the Makeup Geek and Manny MUA. This is what it looks like. This shade is a dupe for the original Comfort Zone Duochrome. I don't think the new Comfort Zone Duochrome is exactly the same. I think it's a little bit more blue than it was green, whereas the original was a little more green than blue, but still a really, really pretty palette. I also have the two ColourPop ones. I have the Kathleenlights Dream Street and the Cute AF. The Yes Please palette. So this is what the Dream Street looks like. And this is what the Yes Please looks like. Really excited to use those. I'm just going to kind of rush through the last little bit of it. We have quite a few left, but I kind of just want to rush. So I'm not going to swatch any of these. I do apologize in advance, but there's just so many palettes, guys. So I have the CoverGirl True Naked Goldens. I have the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes. I have the CoverGirl True Naked Roses. And I have the CoverGirl True Naked Jewels. And I plan on getting the Smokey one when I'm off my low buy, which there'll be a video coming out next week about that. So if you want tutorials on any of these CoverGirl palettes, I am more than willing to do that. I also have these two by Revlon. It is the Not Just Nudes and Passionate Nudes and Romantic Nudes. These are not the best in the drugstore, but Revlon does not have any other shadows that I really like. These are kind of their best of the best in my opinion, so that's why I'm keeping them. I also have an eyeshadow palette from Sleek. This is in Vintage Romance. I've used this once. Not really sure how I like it, but if you want to see a tutorial, look at these pretty purples. Anyway, so next, I have three from the brand Makeup Academy. This one is their nude eyeshadow palette. All the browns. All the browns. Woo! This is their Smokey eyeshadow palette. A little bit more. And this is their metallic eyeshadow palette. So all these are metallic, obviously. That green though. So if you want those, I have a bunch of e.l.f. So this is their Prism eyeshadow palette in Sunset. I've had this for a long time. Really like that. This is their one in Naked. Just recently got this. I like that. This is their Mad for Matte palette. This is the original one, the OG one. And then they came out with the Mad for Matte 2. I want to say they have a 3 and 4 now, which I want, because I love the Mad for Matte palettes. If I can even open the second one to show you guys. There we go. This is more like warm toned. Then I have the Nude Rose Gold palette, which again is supposed to be like the Naked 3 dupe. I'm just like making a mess out of myself. I also have the e.l.f. Need It Nude. And I also have the e.l.f. Party Ready. Now, all I have left are my Milani ones, so I'm gonna run through this because we're already at 40 minutes. This is the Everyday Eyes Earthy Elements. This one is Bare Necessities. This one is Plum Basics. This one is Smokey Essentials. Yes, a couple of these are broken, guys. It's because these palettes are so dang hard to open. This one I haven't even opened yet. What the hell? This one is Must Have Naturals. And this one is Must Have Metallics. So, that's all of my eyeshadow palettes. I know this was a really, really long video, but I just wanted to show you guys what I have, so that way when you guys start requesting tutorials, you guys know exactly what you can request with. So, that is my video for today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.